Why don't you try some?
Why don't you try some? See what- Just got it. I'll try some again.
I don't know what that is.
This tells you what it is.
Yeah. Read that again. Is what's down in the corner?
Stylus.
The video box. Now, what the hell is the video box?
Well, this has to be the video box. Well, no, the video box is Dave.
How are you, Dave?
David.
It's getting a little cool out. Well, it's starting to cool off a little, yeah.
Yeah,
After its sudden warming,
I know. It was warm when I got up this morning,
yeah.
the 40s.
Well, it went to 40 from 1.
It looks like you got more snow up here.
Wasn't very much though.
No? Oh, we didn't get any. We got a lot of rain, a lot of wind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, the wind was just whipping.
I'm glad we didn't lose power.
Oh, really? Yeah. Hey, I know. I got up this morning and the house flag was up in the front yard.
No. No,
It had broken the bracket.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it didn't pull it away from the house, but it actually broke it in two.
supposed to be this.
I know, honey, but we haven't gotten it. I think we have to get it from David's video.
My daughter's supposed to get over 17 inches.
Where is she?
She's in West Springfield, Pennsylvania, right off of Lake Erie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I tried calling her a couple times this morning just to see how she was doing. She didn't answer, and then finally she said, "I'm alive, doing morning chores." I thought, oh man, that's good.
Do they have a farm or?
Yeah, she's got 40 head of cattle and a bunch of pigs.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So she does working at beef and pork.
Huh.
Yeah.
All those things I don't eat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of funny because for a while, she did a CSA for vegetables, but they found they could do better with beef, and that's the way they work.
That's as good as we're gonna get.
I think so too.
That business, you gotta do what works.
Yeah.
That must have stuck out of it.
Yeah, so she's gonna, and of course, she's gotta feed them hay, and
I don't know if you're still,
Put it in.
never getting hay to
I don't
them,
know if you're still connected to David.
plus water.
I don't know.
Well, I remember from my time on the ranch what that was like.
Yeah. I would say, exactly.
David, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
No.
I think that's a good thing.
I don't. Hi, Carol.
Now you're viewing participants. Let's see if we can.
Well, there you are. Carol came and left.
You lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that? Was it?
No, I think that's Bill's wife, Jean.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh, yes, I'm over here.
Yeah, that was Gene. Well, you can't see me, David. But I'm wearing what I usually wear, and I've been
I'm
practicing.
doing really well. Take my word.
Boy, oh boy.
Carol has a big
Uh,
hand. Hi, Carol.
David, I'm not getting
Hi,
any,
Carol.
I'm not getting any sound.
You're not? Everybody else is getting sound.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
You're hearing me, right, Bill?
Yeah, I am.
There's two of us. Well, I was going to say, Joyce, are you on the beach
Hi,
today?
Joe.
Oh, no, why?
Because that picture came up.
For some reason, when it joined, the video was off. I don't know why that is, so that is my beach picture.
I think I'll probably have to was going the other
But Carol is having trouble getting sound. So,
Oh, okay. I had trouble getting on this morning, so my thing didn't want to link up. I
mm,
don't, okay.
maybe it's the weather.
Participants.
Oh, I don't care. Oh,
Well, they're taking up part of the screen.
yeah.
technology.
Yes.
So is Carol on at all? I don't see her, David.
No, now she's not. She was, but
She might want to try to get back on.
yeah, I think she's gone off to come back on.
Okay, try it again.
Yep, here she comes.
That's not- What are you trying to do?
Just keep it on David, I was thinking.
It's connecting. Oh,
She may be having an internet problem.
Yeah,
yes.
he's talking to
I see.
top bill.
But if they're not talking, you have David for full screen, is that
I
correct?
guess so. David, you still can't see me, can you?
Well, I can see your head.
Oh. Oh, well, I guess I have to hold this in front of me. Damn it.
You think?
All right, can you see me now?
Well, I see your waist, I think.
Yeah. As good as you get.
Okay, David, I found the problem.
Aha.
I
Good.
had my AirPods in the room and it was not letting me listen through my iPad. It was going,
Oh,
I had to get out of the room. So
yeah.
I had to put him in timeout.
We're having technology issues this morning.
Everybody.
Oh, no kidding. Oh my gosh. It's the first time that's happened to me. It's like,
I have had that exact same thing happen, Carol. I have to make sure that my phone is on, the Bluetooth is off and out of the room. Otherwise, it doesn't let the iPad hook up.
oh, okay. Good to know. That's very good to know.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I've had that happen. I had my phone linked to my car and I got a phone call, like if I got a phone call in here,
Mhm.
but I'd have to go out to my car to talk to him.
I don't have to go
Oh,
out
no.
there.
No,
The sound would come through my radio.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what'll happen.
well, that's good for when you're driving. but-
Right, yeah. But it should unhook when I'm not
Yeah, ideally.
ideally.
Uh,
I just need to say, technology wise, I am getting a flashing orange light that I don't usually get.
No,
That's sad.
you're just lucky, I guess.
Yeah. So just so you know, in case everything goes out, I've never seen this light do this before.
Okay.
Wow.
Bill, are you still with us?
He's gone into the other room to go on his desk computer. Because on the TV, we can't get rid of screen sharing. We
Oh.
have you and
He's trying
two
to.
of the gals.
Yeah.
Whenever they speak, they show up. So you're as small on our big screen TV as you would be on our computer.
Ah,
So he's
Okay.
gonna see if he can get on the computer, and then I'm just gonna leave this alone until your session is over.
okay.
And once we begin, David, I'll put mine on mute and that should prevent that, me from popping up on the TV screen, once I mute myself.
Me too.
Here comes Bill.
Ta-da.
Audio, but he doesn't have.
There he is.
Here he
We
is.
see you.
Hi, Bill.
We got a couple things going here today.
It's,
But
I
he's
knew
on.
I should have paid more attention to how to use this. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Why don't you guys just go? Start.
We will just go.
we got it on record.
Yes, no,
Okay.
unbelievably enough.
The TV or the iPad?
Whatever. 'Cause I've got it on in the other room.
All right, you go make sure it stays on. I'll turn it off on the iPad.
Look at the directions.
Do you think you have to turn off the TV?
The sound doesn't pick up the ting shots. When I'm zooming in, I see you hit them. I don't hear anything.
Really?
Very tiny little tinny sound. Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true for Joyce and Carol.
I don't either. So I know that Joyce felt she wanted to share something with us this morning. So Joyce, do you want to start?
Sure. So I wrote this to David and I said, this is either an epiphany or, duh, you should have known this all along, or it could be totally wrong. But this, in my practice, in the past week or so, because I just started playing with this, I realized that the arms don't move unless, the arms move in space because the body's moving in space, not because the arms are moving. The arms are rotating, but so if can I stand up? So if I'm facing forward to you, right? I'm just gonna hold my hand here. And now I turn my body, my arm is pointing in this direction, but my arm didn't move. My body moved.
Jesus.
To make my arm point in that direction. Is that something, or is that just like the, I don't. Is that what
Joyce,
what you've been trying to tell me for 10 years, David, and I haven't
Yes.
listened to that.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good, Joyce. Yes.
Okay.
That's something that Master Joe discovered years ago.
Yes. As Bill just said, that's something Master Joe discovered many years ago.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Somehow or
this-
other,
No, that's important. That's important that you feel that in your body and can begin to incorporate it.
there you go. You just said it. I've had that in my head probably for a long time. All of a sudden, it got into my body.
Yeah.
And so I have been focusing on the rotation
Right.
of my arms, not really thinking about my arms moving. So I'm still playing with it and it's all really new to me, but thank you.
Good. So, anyone else have a question or a comment?
David, I just found that when I was doing the energy work that you worked with us the last time, I had a really hard time almost feeling like it was too intense. I don't know if you noticed at the last session, I actually had to sit down at one point because I just got really warm and almost felt vertigo. So I had to shorten the time to, when I'm doing it, and I can't close my eyes. I can just look down. But so energy is definitely moving because I'm getting very warm. But yeah, I'm having to learn to moderate it so that I don't have to sit and feel that vertigo feeling. Is that something that you have found occurs when people first start practicing this?
It certainly can be. I think that partially that's indicating some blockages,
Okay.
so that the energy, instead of flowing freely throughout your entire system, it is in some areas getting blocked, and that's causing the increase in pressure and heat in your body.
Okay. So just
have you done energy gates? I can't remember.
no.
So at some point, pretty soon, maybe we'll do, I'll do a session where we think about how you release those blockages, how you can begin to recognize them and release them, which is a major part of the first standing posture and opening the energy gates of your body. So you wouldn't have done that if you haven't done that practice. So we could bring that into this. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Bill, anything for you? He just walked out of the room.
What, David?
Any questions or thoughts from you?
On that energy work?
Sure.
Well, I thought I had something moving once, but that was it. I find that my concentration isn't what it should be.
Get rid of that should. It's not should. It's not what you would like it to be, perhaps.
Right.
Anything for you, Bill?
Dave.
Dave?
He's Bill, that's okay. No, I'm good. I'm good. I liked adding, I did start putting my standing meditation before the practice.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have a daily practice anyway, but I find that in my routine, sometimes I would do that way before I did my Tai Chi, or vice versa,
Mm.
before and after. So just focusing on the standing meditation, I think is good.
It is, and it really should come before.
Before, yeah. I know years ago, I had a regular routine, and I incorporated breathing without breathing into it as well.
Yeah, I've kind of let go of that
Yeah,
particular focus, not necessarily the intention.
okay, yeah,
But I found that overly focusing on that just really got in the way.
it's hard.
Well, it is hard, but
Yeah.
the point is, breathing should not be hard.
No. Yeah, so you're right. So the focus kind of it breaks your concentration. It becomes a distraction. That's a
Yeah.
better word for it,
Yeah,
to your overall practice.
that's
Yeah,
definitely my feeling.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start actually with talking about one alignment, the head and the neck, before we actually begin. So you could start by sitting down. You don't have to stand for this. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry.
I'll just look at that.
So another alignment that we need to look at is the head and the neck. And from the perspective of Qigong, Jin, Tai Chi, Chinese medicine, your head is an internal organ. It is very directly connected to your kidneys. The biggest thing with your head is if the energy that's inside your brain, the qi, as opposed to the neurological stuff, is going to integrate with the body. It has to have a way that the head and the neck connect into the torso and to the feet. And this is not just a question of alignment. It's also about how you hold your neck so that two things occur. The first one is you don't compress the vertebra of your neck. If you have a trunk line with signals and you cut the signals at the beginning, the only thing you get down line is distortion in the rest of the body. But more than that, your head has weight. And most people don't realize that even the way they move their head actually directly links to pressures inside their internal organs. And especially as people age, if they don't at least have a good baseline about the way in which their heads move around, you can start pushing your internal organs in directions that are not doing them any particular good. Now, what we want to look at is the position of the head. The base of the skull, the occiput, so right at the place where your spine comes out of your brain. That is the biggest problem in neck adjustment. That space has to be open so that these signals coming from your brain through your body are not impeded or stuck or jammed or short-circuited or any other kind of interference. Because when that happens, it does stuff inside your body that is really not very good for you. So the trick here is that you just need to release the head upwards, creating a little space about the thickness of 2 or 3 sheets of paper, so not a whole lot. So you create a little bit of space, actually opens it up, close it down a couple of sheets of paper, and you cut the signal right at the primary source. So what will allow this to happen? If your head is straight, you're probably okay. But if it bends to either side, it blocks the signal. So no bending to the side at all. If it goes to the side enough, as you start getting older, watch your spine start developing problems. But even more important, watch what it does to your internal organs. These things matter. They really matter because they happen over decades. They don't happen quickly. And the next thing is, for the worst one, is bending the head back. That really jams the whole system, because when the head goes back, it not only jams the signals coming from the brain, but does a real job on your thyroid to boot. And underfunctioning thyroids are quite common. The last is not so bad. This is bending forward. If it bends forward a little bit, it's not a problem, because what that little bit does is it opens up that area at the base of the neck so it stays open. But that's not the case when you go down or forward too far. Because when you go too far, you actually close down the vertebrae and back. So bending a little bit, okay, a lot is not. So you don't really, you don't need a really strong pushing up of the head. What you do need is to just lightly lift the head off the neck, just enough to get those signals, having that habit of raising the upper vertebra and keeping them open. And that's all you need. And you get it right. If you get it right, one of the things you will feel is a very, very light, mild feeling through the back of the neck. It feels like something is happening to it. And if you get that light feeling in the crown of your head, and it feels as though it's right down through your body to your perineum and down to your feet, that means the energy is probably actually circulating in your body. So before we stand up and move, one of the things I want you to do is to try to get that feeling in the neck. And the first thing I want you to do is easier for you guys on the tube than for Dave and me, but I want you to rub your face. Just rub around your face. And then after you do that for a moment, rub your eyes and realize how light a pressure you want to apply to your eyes. Because that's the pressure I want you to use in this next little exercise. What I'd like you to do is, sitting up straight, to reach back and very gently slide your fingers up the neck and just up past the occiput. And see if you can get a sense of your neck just very lightly lifting. I will say that this is more effectively done as a partner exercise, but it's something we can't really do right at the moment. So for a moment, just sit and see if you can feel that sense of your head lifting off the top of the spine and finding the position of the head and the neck, where you begin to feel a sense of something moving. It's almost, well, I probably shouldn't give you an example because you can feel it in different ways, but it almost feels like a little bit of a breeze under your skin, just a little movement. If you find that position and open up that space, it just releases that energy. So anybody have a question at this particular juncture? Anybody feel like you're able to get a sense of that? Sort of.
Yeah, I can feel it's the lower part of my spine kind of relaxing.
Good.
And also it seems when it does that, it helps me to kind of lift it up.
So Dave has a good point here. He was saying he could feel a sense of the lower part of his spine or the spine below the neck
Just below, yeah.
releasing. And that's important. You're not trying to push the head up because that will just tighten everything. But it really is a sense of just allowing it to release upwards. And it's really kind of interesting when you find that position. Anyone else have a question or comment? Okay. So what I want you to do then is to stand up. And we'll just start by stepping out, coming into your alignment position. And begin by feeling your feet on the ground, centering your weight to begin with. And being aware of those alignments through your body. And in particular, focusing on releasing the head to allow it to lift slightly without bending. So don't let the chin lift. Often when we think about lifting, even just releasing, we tend to lift the chin, and that immediately bends the head backwards. So just trying to find that place where the head is released upwards. And you begin to feel that sense of the energy flowing up to the crown of your head. And once you find that, also feel it begin to sink through the whole body, from the crown of the head, down through the torso, the perineum, and the quad, down the legs, and through the feet into the earth. Be sure you allow your breath to continue. Don't hold your breath. If you lose that feeling in your neck and head, play with it. Find that place. Keep thinking of it as a release. like so many things in what we do, this is not actually something you do. This is something you allow to happen. So release the neck and release the head and allow it to gently lift. And then focus on sinking your chi. Because that's the first stage that we need to do in all of our practice. Sink, allow the chi to drop down through your body, cleansing and releasing. Be aware of allowing your mind to sink through your body. So that you can release from every part of your body. And allow the chi to drop down. And remember that the chi is always moving in both directions, even when we focus specifically on one aspect. So if you feel a little bit of sense of the chi rising, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Just to being aware of both parts of this movement. But we want to focus and emphasize sinking to begin with. Those of you who've worked with Rick Barrett at all might think about his principle of extending your forefinger down into the earth, which may help you to achieve this. And then beginning to be aware of the energy moving in both directions as you go into our 8 gates, standing positions, but keeping the energy moving by pulsing. Begin bending and twisting in, extending and lengthening out, and in and out. So energy moving from fingers and toes and crown to the dantian, and then out to those positions. And down to kun, earth, and extend. And try not to let pauses develop. Keep the breath moving, keep the body moving, keep the chi moving. And into calm water. Lengthening in, lengthening out. Let go. And up to leave fire. Try to keep the movements rounded, circular, aware of the twisting in and twisting out. Everything bending and extending. And into Gun Mountain. Remember, fingers, hands, wrist, elbow, shoulders, scapula, toes, feet, ankles, knees, quad. Everything is bending and extending. Dewey Lake. Allow the ligaments to lengthen in and lengthen out. And up to Jean Thunder. Drop the elbows. It's always good to take a moment and just stand when you finish. Be aware of how your body feels, of any changes that may have taken place. Just let yourself make the transition from that practice to the next thing you're going to do. So any questions in there? So could you feel your neck open as you did that?
Yeah, definitely. You can tell when you're doing it right.
That's absolutely correct.
I have a tendency to bend forward too much.
Yeah. Could you hear what Dave said? No. He said, you can definitely feel when you don't do it right. So, anybody have a question in there? Nope. Okay. So keeping your awareness on the position of your head, let's do a little bit of walking and the single arm practice. Really just trying to make sure that we're keeping the head and neck in the appropriate position and feeling the movement of the energy there. I'm going to go this way. I'll go this way. So just stand for a moment. Be aware of your alignments and the position of your head. And then begin. Stepping out. Then going into your right gumbo. Coming forward and turning forward and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Keep the head up, not too much, just enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going, count to yourself. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Let the neck relax. All right. Everybody relax for a minute and a couple of things I might say. One is I'm seeing a lot of sense of tightness in the shoulders. Relax the shoulders. Let them drop. If you tighten up your shoulders, you immediately begin to tighten up the neck. So the shoulders have to relax. The other thing I mentioned in the movement is that when you get, let's go to 4. That 5 has 2 parts, remember? It has a shift, it has a rotation to the right, if you're on the right foot, and then a slight rotation to the left to place that foot out. And I'm seeing 5 and 6 occurring without much or any rotation. It has to be there. It has to be there. Otherwise, your leg can't move with whole body movement. If all you're doing is you get to 5 and you put your leg out, that's an empty movement. Not what we're doing. Master Joe would not be happy. So you have to get the body to move the leg. That's part of what you were talking about experiencing earlier, Joyce. You were talking about it in relation to the arms. Here we're talking about it in terms of the legs. And so try it again for a minute. Try to let the shoulders relax and keep the appropriate movement of the body going. Joyce, think of your dantian as the center of your movement. Yeah, yeah, let it all relax. But that was better. That was better. Not with the arms, just the walk. Good. Good, Bill, that's coming. Carol, that's pretty good. I feel like I want to say to you what Yang Cheng Fu used to say to his students, relax, I'm not going to beat you. I am going to watch it now.
Well, now you're gonna watch me. I lost my balance in my old age. Get it over there. There we
That's
go.
very good. Just be careful that when you go to 6,
Yeah,
that you don't turn all the way forward.
yeah, I'm just trying to catch my balance here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, I used to be able to do that too, but I'm going ball me qua, ball me qua.
Right. Absolutely. Also think of sinking your weight into your heel.
Oh, yes, that's another thing I've been working on is thinking more, getting a little lower. Because I tend to stand up too high,
Well,
which throws my balance off as
yeah.
well.
Culturally, we tend to be forward weighted,
Yeah,
and when we are forward weighted, when we get to here,
yeah,
that's how we are. So if instead we think of sitting into the heel,
oh,
then when
okay.
we get to that point, we've got the balance to do what we want to do. Yeah. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, and not, there it goes, that's good.
Yeah,
Turn, put it down, step onto it, and then turn.
try to put that foot straight too. It sets you up for the next one.
Which foot?
Left.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've already got it over there.
Yep.
So when you do this,
Yeah. Don't go up.
I know.
Stay that foot
Put it down,
straight.
straight. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to work on that.
Yeah. Straight.
Like I said, I'm gonna have to work on it,
Okay.
because then when I go on to it, there, you gotta get that turn.
Yep.
Down.
Good.
Yeah, caught myself.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one thing I wanted to remind you of, and I'm not gonna, you don't have to dwell on this so much, but just because it is a very basic part of the training, is that when we're doing the walk, we're really thinking about the energy of the 5 elements from the dantian down. And so when we begin in the walk, we start forward weighted. So our first movement is back, and that is the movement of wood sinking into the earth. As you rotate right, that's the movement of fire to the right. As you shift forward, it's the movement of metal, cut forward, metal. And then for 5B, you have fire again, and then water to place the left foot. And then 7 is metal again, and water appears again as you turn left. And you notice that there's no earth, because earth is the energy that is constant. It is the energy of central equilibrium, of balance, of moving from your center. So as you become a little more comfortable with these movements, one of the things you want to do is begin to be aware of what energy you're actually projecting in the legs as you do this. Nothing to think about.
No, thinking gets in the way.
That's right. Any questions there? Okay. So being aware of that head position, now let's try the single arm. So here's, now that we add the arms, we can get even more distracted from maintaining our structure. So from the very beginning, find that position of the head and try to maintain it. Focus your eyes out. So stepping out and then stepping forward, rotating the arms, and begin. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going a bit. Oh, Bill,
Dave.
what?
Dave,
Dave, sorry.
that's all right.
That's my age showing.
Still having trouble with the left hand.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
One thing, your tendency when this hand comes to the side is to bend the wrist, and it can stay.
Oh, okay. That's a habit of connecting to the earth.
Yeah, you connected to the earth when it came down here. It can connect through the fingertips. It doesn't have to have the
Oh,
power
okay. That's
down.
another habit. Yeah.
Yeah,
get the long points of the earth. Yeah.
No, the
No.
fingers can do it too.
Okay.
That's how, in Dragon and Tiger, when you
Oh, right.
come down, you're sending it down the leg with the fingertips.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So this one, I think you're shifting back a little too fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you have to give yourself the time for this arm to get down and then have the movement at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going this way. I should be turning too.
Yeah.
When I do this.
That was better. But hey, start facing all the way forward. So you have all your rotation views. And okay, so let me, this is what you just did.
Okay.
That was kind of the movement, except this hand should have been here.
Okay.
So as you're going here, this goes across the center of the body a little, and then a very shallow S curve down. And on 3, it comes to the bottom.
Okay.
So your body
See, I'm
got
too
stuck.
far.
Yeah, you gotta slow it down. Yes,
There we go.
yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah, that's been a problem.
Timing is interesting there, shall we say.
I had the intention.
Yeah. So Bill, when you go into that left arm movement going down, you're shifting your weight back too quickly, going back too quickly, so you don't have rotation to keep on going. So you want the rotation to go all the way through 3/4 of that S curve.
All right.
Because if your body isn't rotating, then the arm can't rotate.
Good point.
So Joyce, that's better. And your head position is pretty good. That left arm movement is still an issue. And actually, you're not alone. It seems to be an issue for everybody. You're rotating back too quickly, and your arm is not completing the 3/4 of the S curve that it needs before you turn on 3. So do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? Okay.
Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Yes, whether or not I can get that in my body, that's another question. But I do understand what you're saying.
If you continue your exploration of your body moving your arms and your body moving your legs, you will. It's there.
Okay. Thank
Good.
you.
So Carol, really kind of the same thing for you, that left arm movement, you're rotating the body back too quickly. The body has to slow down to give the arm time to get through that S curve.
I'm with Joyce. I get it. It's just coordinating that movement. It's
Yep. It's
working.
it's tough.
It is tough.
Yep. But it's interesting because it appears in a number of places in Tai Chi and other practices as you go along, and finding that connection really eventually will make those easier.
I think another thing is I'm making my left hand S curve too big. And that's getting awkward for me.
Yeah, it needs to be flattened and right down through the center of your body, not out to the side.
Yeah. And I'm trying to make it the same size as my right S curve, and it's just not working.
It isn't. It
No.
isn't the same size. You're absolutely right.
I have a question now.
Yep.
Go.
Okay, so left bow stance, this is about this left arm. That first movement is your body is just going back. So your arm has not started rotating yet. Is that correct?
No.
And that rotation, oh.
No, it is not correct. So,
Okay, correct.
so as soon as your body moves, your arm moves. Your body moves, your arm moves. Your body is moving your arm. And your body is continuously rotating and shifting back together in that movement. So you're opening that left quad and closing the right. Boom. It's just a rotation. It's actually, and you want to be sure you start fully straight ahead. And then the movement, once you start it from that left quad, is a relaxation. Except you have to control the pace of it so that you have time to do your S curve, which is flattened. It's narrowed. It's not the same one that if you were doing the left arm at the beginning, it's a much bigger S curve. Here it is narrower. Oh. Okay. Did that clarify that, Joyce?
Yeah.
Not enough, huh?
That doesn't sound very convincing, right? Yes, David, again, you know, it's back to, yes, I understood what you said, but getting that into my body is gonna take some work.
Yep.
Some time, some effort. So,
You know, the thing that I think we all tend in the beginning to get confused about is we have in our mind that we have a pace going and everything is moving at the same speed all the time. And it kind of looks like it, but it ain't the case. There are subtle changes of pace in everything, constantly adjusting to each other and driven indeed by the body. So also, I think one other point that I wanted to make, we're right here at the end of class, but is to remember that a very basic principle is that as often as possible, we want the elbow to be facing downward towards the earth. Clearly, as we make all these movements, they can have a tendency to go somewhere else. So notice that if you're doing the beginning of the movement, one way that I see this happening is the elbow leading up. And actually it's the dantian driving the whole arm. So my elbow is not going up here. My elbow is dropping so that it can keep pointing towards the earth. And to the best of its ability, it tries to do that. And 45 degrees is fine. Out to the side is not. And that can affect a lot of different movements, but it also affects the one we were just talking about. One reason I was mentioning this is that if you don't let the elbow sink, then this is what happens. You get this happening, which I see happening. You're hung up on the shoulder. Let it drop. If you let the elbow go down in there, it frees the arm.
it just happens.
So be aware of the fact that ideally we want the elbow to continuously drop. And on that note, without having gotten even to the form today, I'm going to stop us. So questions? or comments? Anybody have a form question that you need answered for your practice? I'd be perfectly willing to do that. Nope.
No, but I have a question about, would you repeat so I could write it down? When you were talking about wood, fire, water, which way is which? So, wood is back, when you're back weighted, it's wood, correct?
When you, I could send you a handout on this too, I think.
Okay.
I think I have one, but I'll go through them. Shifting backwards is wood, yes. Advancing forward is metal. Turning right is fire. Turning left is water. And earth is central equilibrium. Constant. Earth is the one element that is constantly, continuously, permanently, ideally present.
Thank you. I know that there is so much more that can be said about those, but right now, this basic thing is like where I'm at.
Well, that's plenty. Yes, absolutely. Good.
Thank you.
Other questions?
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Good
David.
Good class, guys. I know we didn't get to the form, but I think we got some good work done on other elements. Keep your heads in the right position.
Oh, that'll be too much to work.
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Stay safe and well, guys.
Bye, Bill.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Dave. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
Joy.
Boom, boom, boom.